Good morning. Welcome to Margaret Schpeil. I'm not going to do anything fancy this morning. I'm just going to tell it like it is. Yesterday turned out to be a very bad day. I am not taking that job in Pickering. Well, for one thing, it's in Pickering. I don't know how the hell to get there. Well, Dave actually phoned the Durham Transit for me, and he wasn't kept on hold for half an hour, like I usually am when I make the call. The place is at a marijuana plant. Should a Christian really be working in that kind of environment? Yes, I am a Christian. A crappy one, but nevertheless a Christian, and I have my own convictions and beliefs. I don't think God would have approved. I don't think this was part of his plan, because the more I thought about it, the more things just went wrong, and just one thing after another. The cons outweighed the pros. Because of the nature of this job, if anyone got wind of it, I could have been a target. There could be bullies who would threaten or try to bribe me to try to score them some pot from my workplace. And even though it's medicinal marijuana, there are people who could misuse it, and I don't want to be a part of that. This just goes against my convictions. I admit that in the past I have partaken of recreational marijuana with my musician friends, but I have had no inclination to do so in recent years. With my medication, I can't even drink. Last time I had a glass of white wine, my anxiety went through the roof. It's not going to be easy to find work for me with my mental health and sensory issues. And to add insult to injury, I couldn't even log in on their online registration package because they want you to make up a password. I can never get passwords to work properly. That's a meltdown trigger right there. And there was nobody who could help talk me through this. I'm not going to be at my best in that situation anyway. When I'm trying to do passwords and they're not working out, I am a blubbering mess. I'm glad that the guy from Canada's Wonderland was able to help me to some extent, but even then we couldn't get a passport, and they had to put me on hold for another 10 minutes and get me a confirmation number. And he was telling me, excuse me a minute, I just got to get some water. Sorry about that. And he was telling me that when I was bringing those stuffed unicorns into Wonderland for doo-doo, there were actually people behind me who wanted to buy them from me, but she never told me, and I couldn't process what was going on around me. It was just too much. I was on the verge of a meltdown because of sensory overload. The entrance to Wonderland is an autistic nightmare. It's just noise, noise, noise everywhere. The music is way too loud. It's that modern stuff. I'm an old fart who can't stand the shit. And the announcements over the loudspeakers are 10 times louder than they need to be. Plus, you got all these people going through the turnstiles and going through security, and there's so much beep, 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 beep. All that beeping makes me feel like I'm being shot at. And I got really angry with Annie yesterday because she was accusing me of having temper tantrums. Can you get it through a neurotypical person's skull that there is a difference between a temper tantrum and a full-out meltdown? A temper tantrum comes from being frustrated because you're not getting your way. A meltdown is when everything closes in on you and it gets to be too much. Like all the loud noise, everything, it just feels like a world that's engulfed you and pinched you in. And the noise, sometimes it feels like I am literally not just hearing it, but feeling it in my body, feeling like I'm being beaten up by it. Like certain noises, they just go right through me. And when there's that much of it at once, and this is the reason I don't own a cell phone, because I can't talk when there's noise in the background. I can't talk to people when other people are talking. My ears have no filters. Back when I was a teenager and throughout my life, I've had people ask if I'm hard of hearing because I talk too loud. I'm not hard of hearing. I hear too fucking much. and it's a pain. It can be really debilitating, and people don't understand it. And I didn't understand it because back when I had that fiasco at the nursing home, when I was trying to find that psychiatrist my former boss referred me to, they they let me use the phone, but they wouldn't be quiet. I was lost and obviously distraught, and the residents at the seniors home obviously seemed to be amused by that and wouldn't shut up. I literally ran out of there screaming, and the nurse chased me out of there. She kept grabbing at my arm, asking me, "Who are you? You've upset the residents." I upset the residents. They upset me. Let me go. It makes no difference. I'm never going back there again. I felt suicidal, and that was in what, 2001, 2000. What I didn't know I was autistic until a week before my 40th birthday, and sometimes I get into nightmare scenarios because everything gets too much. It's not a matter of losing my temper because things aren't going my way. Things get to be too much. And I've also spoken about the spoons theory. The spoons theory was coined by a lady with lupus who was in a restaurant with her friend, and she grabbed a bunch of spoons and she said, "Well, every daily task costs me a spoon, like getting dressed or what." Like, those sort of things, most mundane everyday things don't cost me spoons, but being exposed to noise and like stress, that does it to me. Oh, the day that I ordered that stupid Bugs Bunny shirt cost me most of my spoons well into the next day. And I had to get some judgmental comments from some well-meaning friend on Facebook that if I'm looking for a job, I shouldn't be shopping from Torrid or Giant Tiger or going out for meals. I am afraid that I'm just opening my mouth to exchange feet, that everything I say is going to be judged by people. I am not an inspiration. I am a failure. People have been going on about what an inspiration I am about going back to work. But what if I can't work? What if I'm still a useless chuckle-headed pup? What if what if all I'm doing is making excuses not to work? I'm not making excuses. They're just genuinely aren't. If I can't work, I can't work. If the environment isn't conducive, it's just a disaster waiting to happen. And how can I be paid to deal with too much aggravation? I'm getting too old for this bullshit. I can't stand on my feet all day. Don't want to have to fork out for safety boots. I don't even know if I can actually work full time. I do have a few good things to look forward to. A lady on Facebook wants to order a reindeer quilt from me. She's one of my customers who's dealt with me before, so I have her address on file. And she says that the Philadelphia Toboggan Company might want to buy my Philadelphia quilt. I have another customer vying for it as well. Philadelphia Toboggan Company used to make carousels, but they don't anymore. They made over 80 of them. But they still make roller coasters, they still make electronic skee ball games, and they still make all kinds of other amusement rides and arcade games. And it would be so cool to have my quilt hanging in their office for the public to see when they go on guided tours of the facilities. Anyway, I am so, like, if I ever get this Bugs Bunny t-shirt, I feel like I don't even want to open it. I just want to schlep the box off to Value Village without even looking at it. I just feel so ashamed of that situation. And when I saw it, I had to have it, and then when I went through it, at least I know now that the internet connections are really bad. Well, the phone connections are bad because there's so much internet traffic. And I could hear her so much more clearly when she called me back. If I ever have to do another transaction like that again, I think I will just ask them first to phone me back to save me all that aggravation. Because she wasn't genuinely stupid. I was the one being stupid, but I was triggered because we couldn't hear each other properly. there goes another siren in my neighborhood. We're near the fire department. It's up on Beatrice. And that's it for now. Bye-bye. Be back soon.